this link, and this link. This is the default behavior. What if you want to get rid of this default behavior? You can make the PE that connects to the CE the next hop for all routes learned from the CE. This is accomplished with next hop self. When you do next hop self, iBGP says instead of advertising the BGP route as is, with the CE being the next hop, the PE will advertise via iBGP its own loopback interface as the next hop. So then you don't have to carry all these routes for the links between the PE and CE. So that's one way to shrink your OSPF table. If you don't carry the PE to CE links in your OSPF, that's one thing. What are some other things that you can do in this environment? What about the physical links, the green links? There are multiple options that you can do. Either you can get rid of these links, which is very tricky, and I'm going to talk about how you can do that, or you can do a summarization. Now, I will not be covering summarization in this video podcast. The third thing you can do is filter them. The filtering is called Type 3 LSA filtering, which is not carrying one area's links into the other area. Let's talk about how you can get rid of the physical links completely. If you want to get rid of this link, there is a feature in OSPF that's called prefix suppression. Normally, when you enable OSPF between two routers, they will exchange with each other. You have to enable OSPF on that link, otherwise OSPF neighbors will not be formed. What prefix suppression accomplishes is you can enable OSPF on that link, but that link itself will not be advertised in OSPF. It will not be carried in the LSA. If that happens, then basically you are not going to carry that link, and the size of your OSPF table will be very small. The only thing you need to carry is the loopback address for the routers for next hop connectivity, because usually in an iBGP environment you are peering from loopback to loopback. So you need to have at least the connectivity for the loopbacks. Now, what if you want to manage those links that we just removed from OSPF with prefix suppression? Because you can't just get rid of this link completely, so you have to manage those links, let's say via a network management station. What can you do? Well, for the management purposes, you can advertise those links in BGP. Well, there you have it. Another way to reduce the number of routes in your OSPF table. This method is called prefix suppression for OSPF. This is what the command looks like. You can go into router mode under OSPF and you can enter prefix suppression. It's going to suppress all the links except the loopback and the ones which are in the passive interface state. This is the default behavior. Remember, the customer link and the physical links should be advertised via BGP, because you just want to manage those links and that's it. Normally, router-to-router communication is not really the end goal. The end goal is to route through the router, not to the router. Basically, you are getting rid of all of these connected links in OSPF and advertising them in BGP so that you can manage them. You can also configure prefix suppression in interface configuration mode. So you're saying to yourself, great, cool, I want to add this feature to my network, but what's the catch? Well, you have to run at least 12.4.15t. So that's the tricky part. If you have a lower rev level of iOS, that may be challenging. But if you're lucky enough that every Cisco device on your network runs the correct iOS, then it should work.